Have you ever wondered why we don't just use SpaceX's Dragon, launched on a Falcon Heavy, to go to the moon instead of waiting for NASA's more expensive government vehicles? This question has been on the minds of many space enthusiasts, especially after NASA's recent delays and the skyrocketing costs of their missions, which now exceed $20 billion. It's a valid question with complex answers, and we'll dive deep into this topic in today's episode. Back in March 2019, Vice President Pence challenged NASA to land astronauts on the moon by 2024 using any means necessary. NASA's response was to stick with its existing plans, the Orion crewed spacecraft and the Massive Space Launch System, SLS, rocket. Unfortunately, SLS has been in slow development since 2006, with more than $23 billion spent, and it still won't be ready to send humans to the moon until at least 2027. To make matters worse, SLS can't deliver Orion to low lunar orbit like the Apollo missions did. Instead, NASA plans to build a new space station in high lunar orbit, called Gateway, as a destination for Orion. This plan requires a lander with double the propellant needed from low orbit, making the entire project more cumbersome and expensive. Amidst these challenges, many people are looking for alternatives. Enter SpaceX. The Dragon crewed spacecraft, developed under a NASA contract in 2014, has demonstrated that a well-led entrepreneurial team can achieve remarkable results. With a dry mass of under 10 tons and 50% more internal space than the Apollo capsule, the Dragon is impressive. Coupled with the Falcon Heavy rocket, which can lift the Dragon in a return stage into lunar orbit, SpaceX offers a viable alternative. Imagine this: the Dragon docks with a lunar lander, which then carries the crew to the moon's surface while the Dragon remains in low lunar orbit. After their mission, the astronauts use the lander to return to the Dragon, fire the return stage, and come home. It would be a tight fit for 4 people, but roomy enough for a 3-day trip to the moon and back. NASA has already recognized SpaceX's potential, awarding them the first Gateway Logistics Services contract in March 2020. This contract involves using the Dragon XL, launched on a Falcon Heavy, to deliver cargo to the Gateway. NASA has been working closely with SpaceX to refine the Dragon XL design and explore its capabilities. Speaking at the SpaceCom conference on February 22, 2023, NASA's Mark Weiss, manager of deep space logistics for the Gateway program, said they have been conducting studies to refine the Dragon XL design and examine cargo configurations and other capabilities that could be enabled by the spacecraft. The primary advantages of using SpaceX for lunar missions are cost and speed. NASA spends billions annually on Orion and the SLS, but for the same money, they could procure multiple Crew Dragon spacecraft and Falcon Heavy rockets. Independent assessments show stark cost differences. NASA has spent $23 billion on the Orion spacecraft, while the Commercial Crew Program's investment in Crew Dragon was just $1.7 billion. Additionally, the SLS rocket, with a projected cost of $4 billion per launch, pales in comparison to the much cheaper Falcon Heavy. Moreover, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy and Crew Dragon could get NASA to the moon sooner. They are already sending astronauts to the ISS, unlike Orion and SLS, which still face uncertain flight tests. Despite these advantages, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine has dismissed the idea of using Crew Dragon for the Artemis program, citing the need for significant modifications. Falcon Heavy is not rated for human launches, which adds another layer of complexity. However, a solution could involve launching the Dragon and a propulsion module separately and docking them in space, a technique perfected during the Gemini program. Political and logistical challenges remain. The SLS program is deeply rooted in political interests, especially from states like Alabama, home of the SLS. Shifting funds from SLS to SpaceX would face significant political resistance. Building a new coalition to support alternatives like SpaceX is difficult and would likely require a major external event to drive change. Despite these hurdles, it's important to recognize the reasons behind the continued support for the SLS. To understand the complexity, imagine the perspective of a congressional representative from Alabama, home of the SLS. Canceling the SLS would mean laying off tens of thousands of constituents and redirecting funds that have allowed their voters to enjoy good incomes, mortgages, and a sense of pride from a high-status project. Instead, this money would go to California and Texas, where SpaceX is located, a proposition likely to be met with strong opposition. Building a politically viable alternative to the SLS requires creating a new coalition stronger and more motivated than the current one. This is a challenging task that historically requires a significant external event to trigger substantial political change. A catastrophic failure of the SLS, similar to what ended the Space Shuttle program, or dramatic political realignments reducing the influence of regions benefiting from the SLS could be potential catalysts. Alternatively, NASA's approach to new programs through fixed-priced commercial partnerships, which better control costs and reward performance, might offer a path forward. However, the political support for the SLS remains steadfast. NASA is readying a long-term contract for up to 24 SLS rockets through at least 2036. The political dynamics favoring the SLS are unlikely to change soon. For those frustrated by this, it's worth considering that lawmakers supporting the SLS are defending their constituents' interests, a fundamental aspect of representative democracy. The tension between local and national interests is a persistent feature of the U.S. political system. Until there is a significant shift in these dynamics, the most practical path may be to focus on making the SLS program more efficient, capable, and effective. In conclusion, while using SpaceX's Crew Dragon and Falcon Heavy for lunar missions is an appealing idea, political, technical, and logistical challenges complicate the issue. Significant changes are necessary before this becomes a reality. Until then, NASA's path involves continuing with the SLS program and exploring ways to enhance its efficiency and effectiveness. However, this debate also underscores the broader shift in space exploration from government-led initiatives to partnerships with private companies. SpaceX's achievements have shown that private companies can not only meet but exceed the capabilities traditionally associated with national space agencies. This shift represents a fundamental change in how humanity approaches space exploration, promising faster, cheaper, and potentially more innovative solutions to space travel. SpaceX's approach to reusable rockets and cost-effective space missions is a game-changer. The Falcon Heavy, for instance, has proven its worth with multiple successful launches. Its ability to carry heavy payloads at a fraction of the cost of traditional rockets positions it as a formidable player in the future of space exploration. The Crew Dragon spacecraft is another testament to SpaceX's innovative prowess. Designed initially for missions to the International Space Station, ISS, its capabilities extend far beyond. With modifications, it could become a key player in lunar missions. Its design, featuring advanced life support systems, robust docking capabilities, and a spacious interior, makes it well-suited for extended missions beyond low Earth orbit. Moreover, the synergy between SpaceX's Dragon and Falcon Heavy rockets provides a compelling alternative to traditional government-led programs. This combination offers a cost-effective and time-efficient solution for lunar missions. By leveraging the strengths of both vehicles, SpaceX could potentially accelerate the timeline for returning humans to the Moon. The political landscape, however, remains a significant hurdle. NASA's reliance on the SLS is deeply intertwined with political interests and regional economic dependencies. The SLS program supports thousands of jobs across multiple states, creating a strong political incentive to maintain the status quo. Shifting to a private-led initiative like SpaceX requires navigating these complex political waters. One potential solution could be a hybrid approach, where NASA continues developing the SLS while simultaneously supporting SpaceX's lunar ambitions. This approach would provide a safety net, ensuring that if one program faces setbacks, the other could potentially fill the gap. It would also allow NASA to leverage the strengths of both government-led and private-led initiatives, fostering a more versatile and resilient space exploration strategy. The future of lunar exploration will likely involve a blend of government and private efforts. As SpaceX continues to demonstrate its capabilities, the balance of power in space exploration is shifting. Private companies are no longer mere contractors but key partners in humanity's quest to explore the cosmos. In summary, While the idea of using SpaceX's Crew Dragon and Falcon Heavy for lunar missions is compelling, it faces significant political, technical, and logistical challenges. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach, balancing the strengths of both government-led and private-led initiatives. As we move forward, the evolving landscape of space exploration promises exciting possibilities, driven by innovation, collaboration, and a shared vision of reaching for the stars. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the complexities and potential of modern space exploration. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any important updates from the world of space. Your support drives us to continue delivering high-quality content. See you next time.